Hey everyone, and welcome to today's shoulder class. For class today, we're going to be building up into high intensity push-ups. We're going to be addressing shoulder abduction, shoulder extension, and scapula retraction. For class today, all we are going to need is 2 yoga blocks and the ground. So just 2 yoga blocks for our props today, and we're going to jump right in. Since today is a shortened class, it's not a full hour, we are just going to do CARs in the areas that we're going to use. So we're going to do the cervical spine, the scapula, the shoulder, and the thoracic spine. And then we're going to dive into the deeper shoulder structures. We're going to start with the cervical spine standing. I'm going to settle into my body, relax, and then I'm going to bring the chin down to chest. Once my chin reaches the chest, I'm then going to pull the chin up to the throat, lift the head tall, and look up towards the ceiling. This is cervical segmentation. I pull the chin into throat, I look down towards the ground, squeeze, and we're going to work it back up. Chin comes into throat. We lift the chin. We're going to do one more of these. Pull the chin into throat, look down. We'll finish here next round. Lifting chin, pulling head long, and then chin pulls back in the throat and looks down. Then we scrape the chin along the collarbone over to the right side, starting our neck car. We're going to look over the right shoulder. We're going to drop the ear behind the right shoulder, looking up towards the ceiling. Pull the head long, rotate over to the left side and squeeze. Chin comes down to left shoulder, and we scrape along the collarbone. We've got 2 more. Scraping over to that right shoulder, squeeze. Dropping right ear behind the shoulder, lifting the head tall. Rotating over to left shoulder. Once the chin meets left shoulder, scrape along the collarbone. 1 more. Getting the biggest range we can out of this neck car. Pulling the head long. Good rotation over to the left side. Chin comes to shoulder, and we scrape. Reversing directions over to the left side, squeeze through the left shoulder, lifting head tall, rotating over to right side, chin meets right shoulder, and I scrape along the collarbone. That's 1, 2 more. Looking over that left shoulder, dropping ear behind the shoulder, pulling head long, rotating over to the right side, chin comes to right shoulder, and I scrape along the collarbone. 1 more rep. Looking over left shoulder, squeeze, lift head tall, rotate over to the right, chin comes to right shoulder, and I scrape along the collarbone. Next will be scapula. So the scapula live on the back of the rib cage, and they move kind of in a circular motion around the rib cage. But when I'm coaching, I like to think of it as a square. We're going to hit 4 corners. We're going to start going backwards, and then we'll go forwards. We're going to take our hands. We're going to find the seam of the pant on the side of our legs, and we're not going to let the hands move in front or in back of the seam. They can move up and down the seam, but not to the front or back. We're going to keep the elbows straight, find the seam. We're going to push the shoulders down away from the ears and forward, squeezing forward. We're going to go up and back behind us, squeezing shoulder blades together, pushing down and back, and then down and forward. That's 1. We have 3 of these. Up and forward, up and back, down and back, down and forward. 2, 1 more. Up and forward, up and back, down and back, down and forward, and we reverse, finding that seam. Elbows stay straight, down and back, up and forward, down and forward. That's 1. Down and back, up and forward, down and forward. That's 2. 1 more. Down and back, up and forward, down and forward. That is 3. And we're going to go into thoracic spine. For the thoracic spine, we have options. We can sit on the heels and block our lumbar like this and work the thoracic spine. If you cannot get into this position, maybe because you don't have full knee flexion or you can't get into ankle extension, first off, take some ankle and knee classes. We have a bunch of them in the platform. But you can grab a yoga block and you can sit on it. So when I elevate myself up on the yoga block, it reduces the pressure on the knees and the pressure on the tops of the feet. Okay, you can also perform this seated on a chair or a bench if you have one. So there's 3 options there. I will take mine in the full position, but take the variation that works best for you. I'm going to bring my hands right in front of the knees. I'm going to round the lower back. So I'm going to try and tuck my butt underneath the spine and squeeze the glutes. My hands come in front of the knees. I'm going to press the rib cage towards the ceiling and drop the head. Abs sucking in, so I'm drawing in like I'm trying to look skinny in a mirror. I'm going to hold my belly button into the spine, and then I'm going to slowly lift the rib cage. as if my heart has a light and it's slowly shining forward. I'm going to press back with an exhale, drop the head, and we're going to roll through. If you didn't take that first one with me, we are working now. Abs sucking in, hold, slowly lifting rib cage, squeeze, heart shining forward, and then exhale, pressing back. That's 1. Abs sucking in, we're doing 5. Slowly pull rib cage through, shining chest forward, and pressing back. 2. Abs sucking in, hold, round the lower back, and lift rib cage, squeeze. Driving back, that's 3. We have 2 more. Abs sucking in, hold. Slowly lift rib cage, squeeze, and press back. 4. 1 more. Abs sucking in, hold abs in, lifting rib cage forward, squeeze, and exhale. Good, and we are gonna go into shoulder next. For shoulder, we are gonna take it from a half kneeling position. So my right knee is gonna be down, my left knee is gonna be up, and I'm gonna take my left arm, hooking underneath the hamstring of the left leg. We're gonna be working right hand. We're gonna start with the palm facing forward. I'm gonna bring my fingers over to my left big toe. From here, I'm gonna pull the hand up and in. I'm gonna slowly make my way into full flexion. The arm is gonna come out to the side. I'm gonna try and get my bicep near my ear, thumb facing out. I'm gonna then internally rotate to where the thumb faces down. I push the hand up and back like I'm reaching for the ceiling behind me, and then top of the hand comes down by my leg. We work up and back, squeeze, externally rotate, palm's gonna face forward, and then up to the ceiling, sweeping into that full flexion, and then hand comes down by the big toe. That's 1. We have 3. Pulling up, sweeping, bicep comes right by the ear, palm faces up towards the ceiling. We rotate internally, palm faces away from the body. Now up to the ceiling behind us and slowly lowering down. Working back up, squeeze straight up and back, externally rotate, palm faces straight up to the ceiling, down and across. That's 2. We have 1 more. Lifting up, squeeze into that flexion, internal rotation, pushing up and behind us, top of the hand by the leg. Last half here, lifting up, squeezing through external rotation, hand comes overhead, down and across. Beautiful. And switching sides. So now right knee is up, right arm hooking under hamstring, left arm is working. Left hand comes over to the big toe of the right foot. Straighten the elbow. Bring the hand up into full flexion, palm facing the ceiling. We're gonna go internal rotation, so palm faces down, and then out to the side, away from the body. Push the hand up and back behind us, reaching for the ceiling, and then top of the hand comes by the leg. We lift up and back, palm faces the ceiling. We rotate into external, palm faces forward, then up overhead, down and across. That's 1. We have 2 more. Squeezing up into flexion, hitting overhead position, internal rotation and squeeze, pushing arm back behind us, top of the hand comes down by the leg. Continue working it backwards, lifting up into extension, squeezing out that rotation, all the way overhead, palm faces up, down and across. We have 1 more. Lifting up into flexion, squeeze. We should feel some tightness in the front of the shoulder here. We rotate, transitioning some tension to the back of the shoulder, lifting arm high, slowly lowering down by the leg. Continue working that backwards, lifting up and back, external rotation, sweeping overhead, and then down and across. That is 3. Beautiful. Then we're gonna get into shoulder abduction, pails and rails. We're gonna start on the right shoulder, and I'm gonna break down what I'm gonna do. So, abduction is the action of the arm pulling back like this, okay? I'm gonna trap myself against the ground and then rotate my body to create a stretch. So it looks like this. I'm gonna take my right arm, I'm gonna extend it out to the side. My left hand is bent right by the chest. My left knee is bent. So you're seeing crossbody, right? I'm wiggling it right here, that left leg. I'm gonna rotate over that left leg to the right side. Now what you'll see is I'm trapping myself against the ground. This right hand here, I'm not able to lift it off the ground, or I am, but just barely. So this is gonna be our pails and rails position. So I'm using this left leg as leverage, and I'm using this right hand to kind of hold me in position. Pails in this position is gonna be pushing the arm down into the mat. Okay, I'm gonna be driving down in and holding rotation. So pails pushing in, rails is gonna be squeezing off the mat, and you should feel that tricep just absolutely firing. Here we go. We're gonna go into our pails. So I'm gonna drive down, let's go. 60%, start to push. You're gonna feel it in the tricep, you're gonna feel it in the pec. 70%, pushing into your right hand block. 80% big power, 90% and max effort, go. 10, 9, hard into that right hand. 8, 7, 6, 5, more. 4, 3, 2, elbow stays locked, push into right hand and lift right arm, squeeze it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Awesome. Then we're gonna switch positions. So we're gonna unrotate and we're gonna pull right arm in, left arm out. We're gonna take that all on the other side. So now I'm gonna bend right knee. I'm gonna bring it over to left side and I'm stretching left pec now. Left pec, left bicep, rotating through that abduction. So we kind of know what's happening here now. Pails, we're gonna drive the hand down into the mat. Rails, we're gonna unrotate as little as possible and then hover that left hand. Here we go. Take that right hand, push into the mat. Bring that right foot over and let's start pushing into left hand. The arm extended, pushing down into the mat, 60%. 70%, keep climbing. 80%, 90% big power, max effort. 10, 9, hard, pushing through the right hand. 8, 7, 6, 5, big power. 4, 3, 2, hold your block in your bottom and base position. Rails, lift the left hand. Ooh, that's hard. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Awesome. That is shoulder abduction. Now we're going to move into shoulder extension and scapula retraction. So we're going to need to grab our yoga blocks next, and we're going to work our right hand. I'm going to grab a quick drink here, then we're going to get on with it. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple different setups here. So you can be more in a tabletop position, sinking down towards the ground and go wide knees like this. So this is one base position. Okay, you can sit on your heels and then drop the chest down. That's another base position. Okay, you can go one yoga block and go face down like this as well. Okay, so all valid and good base positions. I want you to take the one that you like the most. Okay, so I don't love being jammed up into the ground more than I have to be. So I'm gonna work a higher position. You can also, make any adjustments to the yoga blocks needed for the correct height. So I think I'm gonna work this tallest position kind of with a wide tabletop. So the goal of this movement is to sink as far down into this position as possible. And if you notice, this is the similar position to the base of a push-up, right? So if I was doing a push-up, it would move very similarly. We're gonna start off with pails and rails here. So pails, I'm gonna drive the fist down into the block, sinking the chest, pushing the fist down. You're gonna feel a ton through the pec and the front of the shoulder, okay? I'm gonna come at a little bit of an angle so maybe you can get a better view here. Good, like this. Pails down, rails, you're gonna squeeze up. We're gonna start with pails and rails, and then we're gonna do some lift off and some hinges, okay? Let's sink into it. Roll the collarbone and shoulders back. You're gonna start pushing into the right hand, so trying to smash this block down. 50%, we're gonna start building here. 60% driving down with the right hand. 70%, 80% sinking chest deeper. 90%, big pressure, max effort through the right hand. 10, 9, abs suck in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep the chest low to the ground. Grab your core and rails. Lift off. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep your chest low. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Awesome. Now look up here and I'm gonna show you this next move here. I'm gonna keep the chest low. I'm gonna lift off the block and then I'm gonna straighten through the tricep. I'm gonna do one corkscrew of internal and external rotation. Then I'm gonna hinge at the elbow and land back on the block. So I'm gonna cover that one more time. I'm gonna lift off. I'm gonna straighten through the tricep. I'm gonna go internal squeeze, external squeeze, neutral, hinge at the elbow, and land, okay? We're gonna do 5 of these, and then we're gonna switch sides. Here we go. We've got our block. We sink deep into it. We're gonna start with our lift off. Get your good base position. Push through the left hand, squeeze your core. Lift the fist off the block, squeeze. Slowly straighten out that hand, fist to the ceiling. Then we go internally, so squeezing the thumb up towards the ceiling. You're gonna feel tightness in the front of the shoulder here. And then external, open the thumb forward, out to the side, and then up to the ceiling the other direction. Back to neutral, hinge at the elbow, and land. That's 1. We kind of know where we're headed now. We're gonna jam through, lifting hand, kicking arm straight up to the ceiling, hinging at the elbow. Internal rotation, squeezing. Thumb rotates towards body and then up to ceiling. Thumb rotates away from the body and then up to ceiling. Back to down towards the ground. Hinge at the elbow and land. That is 2. We've got 3 more. Lifting off, straightening out through the tricep. Internal rotation, thumb rotates towards the body and then up to the ceiling. Thumb rotates away from the body and then up to the ceiling. Back to neutral, hinge at the elbow, and land. Whoo! 3. We have 2 more. We're gonna lift off. Straighten out through the elbow, high as you can get the arm. Internal, thumb rotates towards body, and then up to ceiling. External, away from body, and then up to ceiling. Hinge at the elbow, and land. That is 4. 1 more. Lifting off. Straightening out behind me. Internal rotation. External rotation, hinge at the elbow, and rest. Whew, it really gets the tricep, doesn't it? And we're gonna switch sides. So now on the left side, while transitioning, I'm gonna grab one drink. Perfect. Hey, so we're gonna take all that on the left side. Any of those base positions we covered, you're welcome to. So you can be laying on your stomach. You can be more in tabletop like I'm doing with higher blocks. Anything flies here, just as long as you're getting good stretch through the front of the shoulder and pec. That's really what we want. I'm gonna start with the left fist on the block. I'm gonna sink down into the bottom range of my shoulder extension and scapula retraction. Okay, that's this position. Good, opening up that shoulder. So when we're here, pails, pushing fist down into the block, rails, lifting elbow up, squeezing scapula towards the spine, and we rest. Here we go, ramping up into max effort. Let's get ready, sinking chest down. Getting to our end position, start to drive the fist into the block. Left hand, 60%, 70%, keep climbing, 80%, 90%, and max effort hard. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, squeeze your core, lift the elbow off, squeeze shoulder blade towards spine. 10, 9, drop the chest. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Awesome. Now we're gonna be in a similar position here. We're gonna do 5 of those lift-offs with the capsule car or axle rotation at the top. So I'm gonna break it down one time. We're gonna lift off. We're gonna straighten through the tricep. We go internal squeeze, external rotating away from body, squeeze, back to neutral, hinge at the elbow, and land. 5 reps. Here we go. Sink in, brace your core, lift off the block, straighten through the tricep, internal rotation, squeeze, external rotation, squeeze, hinge at the elbow, land on the block. That's 1. Take a breath, lift off, squeeze up, straighten out through the tricep, internal rotation, squeeze towards midline, external away from the body, back to neutral, hinge at the elbow, and land. That's 2. Let's keep it rolling. Lift off, straighten out through the tricep. We go internal squeeze towards midline, external away from midline, hinge at the elbow and land. That's 3. We have 2 more. Let's get it. Lift off, straighten through the tricep, straight up, internal squeeze, external squeeze, hinge at the elbow, land. That is 4. 1 more rep. Lift off, straighten out, internal squeeze, external squeeze, hinge at the elbow, and land. Whew, awesome. Great work. Now we're going to go through our series of push-ups. Okay. So we're going to break down what we're focusing on the push-ups, and I'm going to encourage you to use your blocks. Okay. So, excuse me, I don't mind if you're going to be on your knees. Take whatever push-up variation that serves you and what's going to be best. But what I do want is your hands on your blocks. So when I use my blocks, I like my fingers to hang over the edge like this. It's a little less pressure on the wrist, so it's very friendly than a traditional push-up. And it gives us extra range. So I'm gonna show you from the side here. I'm gonna give you all the options. Option 1, on the knees here. We're gonna lower down nice and slow. We get all the way down, drive up. Option 2 will be to lift the knees all the way down, drop the knees to press up. Option 3 will be the entire push-up with the knees off. We go down, we go up. Now, when doing the push-up, I see a lot of people allowing their hips to drop and their spine to go into extension. So I'll see people struggling with their push-ups. They'll take the full version, but this is how they'll look. Okay, what I want is hips as high as shoulder, abs sucking in, almost something like a hollow hold, which, is on your back and looks like this. So we should be holding a position, doing our push-up like this. Okay, so I'm here. I take that hollow hold position. This is still a demo. I'm gonna lower it down, get all the way to the ground, and drive up from there. Really strong, no sagging of the hips. If you find yourself sagging through the hips, just drop to your knees, okay? So we are gonna do 2 rounds of 5 tempo push-ups. We're gonna do a 5-second down, 5-second up. That is a 10-second rep. That is a long time. So each rep will take roughly, or each set will take roughly a minute. We'll get a minute of rest in between, and then we'll get to it again. During our rest in between, we will do some swimmers, but low intensity, not super demanding. Okay, we are set up on our blocks. You're gonna take the base position that you think you're ready for. Keep in mind, you can always change it, easier or harder as we go. 5 seconds down, 5 seconds up. I've talked about how I want you to hold the core. I want the yoga blocks just wider than shoulder distance, and I want the elbows to generally trend more back than out to the side, okay? So as I'm doing the push-up, my arms are coming back like we did those extension liftoffs, right? So this is more the path. I'll show you from the front. This is more the path than this. Okay, that's gonna put a ton of strain on the front of the shoulder and not what we primed and got ready for. Here we go. 5 seconds down, 5 seconds up. Take your plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We hit the bottom and drive out slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoo, 5 is gonna be hard. Here we go. Lowering down. 5, 4, 3. Abs, squeezing glutes. Get to the ground, drive up slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 2. Try not to let those elbows flare. Keep them in tight. 5, 4. Abs, glutes. 2, 1. Drive out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 3. We have 2 more to rest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. We're going to take 1 minute. During this minute, we are going to be doing shoulder swimmers. So you're going to do 3 of them. They look like this. Hands on the back. Follow with me. We lift off the head. We punch straight up. We squeeze the arms back. We internally rotate. We sweep the arms behind us. We're going to try and reach them up the back as high as we can. The fists meet each other, and we're going to work it back. We lift off. We circle around, open up. We come overhead, and we land behind the head. That's 1. Lift off, punch up. Circle around. We land on the lower back. Lift off, punch out. Big circle around, not high tension. We're low and fluid. 2, 1 more, lift off, punch out. Big circle around. We land on the back. Last half, we lift up. Big proud chest, circle around. Land on the back of the head and rest. Awesome, we'll grab a quick drink and take our last round for the day. Okay, 5 seconds down, 5 seconds up, last 5 reps. We're gonna take the base position that you like and what serves you best. Here we go. We're on our yoga block. We take our plank. Pits of the elbows roll forward, arms come down by the side. We squeeze the core, we squeeze the butt, we lock the knees out. Strong foundation here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You drive out slow with power. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 1. Let's hit it again. Squeeze your blocks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 2. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your core. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 3. We've got 2. Stay with me. If you need to drop to the knees, do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4. Last rep. Squeeze your core. Squeeze your glutes. Lean into this challenge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whoo! All right. That is a wrap on our shoulder class with a build up to a push-up. Thank y'all for joining me today. Thanks for taking class. I will see you next time. Ciao.